All right, thanks for tuning in, MTH Nation. Today we're coming to you live with something a little bit different than we normally do. As you can see behind me right now, we have a 2005 GMC Sierra. How we actually acquired this truck, it's not even ours. This particular truck that's behind us actually belongs to a Chelsey and Mike out of Owatonna. We were reached out to by Karina with Wheelhouse Warriors for a particular kid that's currently going through his battle with cancer. That particular kid is actually Mike and Chelsey's son, Rourke. Rourke, who was diagnosed with advanced leukemia when he was 3 years old, he's been going through one heck of a battle. And you know, when you have cancer, it kind of involves that whole family. Ends had to be met, sacrifices had to be made. Mike and Chelsey both had newer, nicer vehicles, but they did downgrade to eliminate payments. They made some adjustments here and there, but this old 2005 GMC behind me is actually a really nice truck. It's very clean on the outside. There's literally almost no rust on it, but it doesn't have any heat. The gauge cluster doesn't work. It doesn't tell you how fast you're going. Steering's a little bit loose, and there's just a few other quirks that kind of come with having an older vehicle. So what I actually agreed to do, and everybody here at Minnesota Truck Headquarters, we agreed to take care of this truck. Let's get this family back on the right path. Let's give them let's just say a small or a large pick-me-up and feel like, there's better things around the corner, right? Rourke actually, believe it or not, from Make-A-Wish, he won a fish house. He won a fish house from Ice Castle, and the whole reason he won the fish house is he loves ice fishing. He loves the winter season. But as a lot of people know, when you have, cancer, it takes a toll on your body. And in many cases, you can't be in them colder climates. So we're going to go through this truck. We're going to make it 110%. It's got 130,000 miles on it now, but when we're done with it, guys, it's going to be ready to go to $250,000. So tune in with us. We'll go a little bit more into detail about all the things that we're going to do to this truck. And in a few days, we'll be doing a surprise with the family. So we'll check back with you. All right, so after our certified technicians took a closer look at this GMC, we found that there was actually a few more issues with the vehicle than we previously talked about. So, of course, we talked about the reason why the truck didn't have heat. We deemed it that the water pump that's in this truck is factory, and since, it's not pumping coolant anymore, and it's also leaking externally. So we'll make sure to get that factory pump out of there and get a new one in there that's good to go. We also, as we talked about previously, with the instrument cluster, to where Mike actually had to use his cell phone to know how fast he was going. The factory motors and the needles on this cluster, they're bad. Pretty common in this particular year of GMC, so we'll make sure to get it sent out to one of our vendors that rebuilds all the needles and the motors in that cluster, and it'll be as good as new. A few other things that we found, the left front outer tie rod has actually got some play in it, so we'll make sure to get that swapped out and get an alignment done afterwards. And then also we found, not a big concern, but the factory wiper blades, the wiper blades that were on it were leaving some streaks, so we'll make sure to get those swapped out, get some new ones on there, and then also air filter, a little bit dirty, we'll get that swapped out, get the new air filter in there too. And I got a couple more, things I think I'm gonna surprise the family with. We're excited to get working on this, guys. Tune back in, let's do this.
sent the cluster out to get fixed, put new servos and all the gauges. I think the speedometer wasn't working. So now we're just going to reinstall it.
Alright guys, we just finished polishing up the truck. The family's just walking in right now. We're about to surprise them.
Oh, sorry.
You ready?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead of you. Right. I can tape it too.
Come on out, guys.
Yeah? It is shiny. Look at that truck. It's shiny. Check it out. That's a sticker on it. Wow. I love it.
Look at it. That's that truck.
Those are black as steel.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Step. Come on, you
Better stop.
Makes it a little bit
Oh,
easier.
that is so cool.
So,
Oh, look at those.
when Karina reached out, she's like, you know, we have a family that, you know, Rourke, with everything that he was going through, they had to make ends meet. We understood that you had a newer vehicles, you know, try to alleviate payments. We went down to older vehicles. And as everyone knows, older vehicles over time, they just need maintenance, right? And I understood that the heat wasn't working. And then the gauges weren't working. You had to actually take your phone out to figure out how fast you're going. So, you know, we kind of jumped into it right away because we understand these trucks are what we specialize in. And, you know, looking at it, we actually had our techs take a look at it. We had Adam and a couple other guys on it, and they were looking at the truck going, you know, this is actually a really clean truck being an 05. You had to pluck this thing out of like Florida or somewhere.
Iowa, actually.
Iowa, yeah. I was gonna say, there's no way it's a Minnesota vehicle. It's too clean. So it's like, you know what? He's already got the headlights on it. He's already got taillights on it. You know, it's got a good look to it. Let's just give this thing the MTH makeover. So we put the oversized wheels and tires on it. Nothing too crazy, but to where you could still use it. You know, it gives it its unique, independent look. You can still haul the fish house with it, do all those things. We also replaced the water pump. That is actually what was causing no heat. It was leaking externally, and it wasn't pumping anymore. So you weren't getting anything through your heat. So we did that, did a new T-stat. We found that this tire on this on the left side is actually a little loose. So we took care of that too with your fresh alignment, so everything's nice and lined. Around the inside, we actually have a really nice surprise for the kiddos.
Come here.
So, if you look up on top of the ceiling,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
DVD player for you, bud.
Come check it out.
I'm gonna take the van before I can lose in the truck.
Right?
Check it out,
So
bud.
when you're going to the lake or wherever you end up going, you just watch the TV on the roof.
What do you think?
Yeah. Steps to help you get down.
Yeah.
There you go. So, and then also, you notice that, you know, the old tonneau cover was a little tattered.
Yep.
You know, starting to lose its Velcro like a lot of them do.
Yep.
So we did go ahead and we put a new tonneau cover on for you. Kind of clean everything up, so.
At the license plate.
Okay, let's check out the license plate.
Gotta check out the license plate.
Oh yeah, it's got their logo on it, like the sticker on the back.
What do you think?
You didn't even get to see this.
I saw it now. I love it. What are you doing? Cool wheels.
Yeah. Look new.
Alright. Yep, there's little stickers on it. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, so like I say, I mean, it's a lot that you're going through, and you know, I'm not gonna say we do well, but we do pretty good for ourselves. And when situations like this come out, we've got to take care of the community. And we feel like if the community, you know, we can take care of the community will take care of us, right? So, you know, from the bottom of our hearts, this is our way of showing that, you know, we're on your side. We're Team Rourke. And if there's anything else that we can do in the meantime, do not hesitate to reach out to us. We'll take care of you guys in any way we can. Absolutely. Absolutely. You got it.
Thank you.
Yeah, good job, guys. Good job, guys. Thank you. Great job on the workers too. Well done. Thank you. Yeah, there's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. You gotta talk about these guys from here. We got Sandy. Sandy's in our MT garage. This is actually the one that did all the ordering of the customization. So she kind of helped me in picking out what would work well for the truck, right? So the wheels, the tires, the boards, you know, the tonneau cover. We got Jordan. Jordan actually installed all the parts.
Thank you guys so much.
Jordan got everything installed in the truck, and then we got Adam. Adam made sure this thing was dressed for the nines, as clean as it could be. And then Kevin kind of, you know, took over and making sure everything got done on time, got done right. In the service department, he manages the shop. So without these guys, this couldn't have been a reality. So
Thank
We
you
hope you
guys.
guys
thank
enjoy
you.
it.
Thank you.
I want to take some still pictures if we can too.
Yeah, absolutely.
With all of you. That'd be wonderful.
We can't say enough about the strength of the Wacholz family. We set Mike's truck up just the way he would have wanted it if he were to do it himself, which is extremely hard to do when you're talking custom car parts. Not to mention now Rourke can be safe out there on the ice and nice and warm in Daddy's truck. I challenge each and every single one of these, you guys that are watching this video right now, that have been moved by this act of kindness to do something right by either your neighbor or your community that you live in. Whether that be, you know, to shovel Mrs. Johnson's driveway or completely change someone's life for the better. MTH Nation, we hope you have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thanks for tuning in. Stay blessed.